Hey guys, let us know if you can see us and hear us and everything else.
Most importantly, can you hear us? Because we know that's over there and we are speaking to you. So welcome, 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 welcome. Tell us who you are, tell us where you are. Tell us a little bit about your dog. Maybe Mango, I might tell them a little bit about you. So Mango.
Yeah, and I'll pop and say hi. You chat about Mango.
Definitely a very naughty pulling dog.
Margaret.
She can be a definite puller. She can definitely lack some self-control. She does luckily like her food, and so we ditch the bowl, and this is some of Mango's ditch the bowl. So ditch the bowl is that. Oh, yep, that's very nice, thank you. And she does definitely have better lead walking than she used to have, and it's still a work in progress. So Mango, if she was introducing herself, loves food, loves water, bit naughty on the lead, likes to bounce like a Tigger, is a great work in progress, and Mango is only 1 year old. So Mango's just a baby, she's a year old.
And what we thought might be useful, because we know that so many of you might struggle with pulling on lead, and it's one of those where if you can't leave the house and your dog be off leash, right? Necessarily. Often you have to kind of get somewhere, whether that's, you walk your dog to the car on lead, you put them in the car, you go to the beach or whatever, or maybe you've got to walk to a park or an open space to be able to have some fun with your dog. And so often your walks are stressful before they even get started.
Now, when we say stressful, that might be that your shoulder hurts, that might be that you're embarrassed, that might be that actually generally just having a dog that pulls you or acts like you really shouldn't be owning a dog, you find generally embarrassing. And we've been there, Mango, right? We've been there. We know what the Tigger looks like. We know how difficult that situation can be for you. Now tell us your dog owning struggle, but most of us all tell us your lead walking struggle, because really today we're going to talk about that specifically.
Absolutely, and what we've got for you are really 5 different strategies or focuses that you need to be thinking about right now. Like immediately, let's implement these strategies, these things that we need to consider, and let's start to see the picture change. And I think the first one that we want to tackle is actually, is your dog in the right headspace when you leave the house, right? Be honest, is it that your dog sees the leash or the lead, or you put your hand on the door handle to open that door and it's like lights on, no one's home already?
And I think we could show Mango being chaotic. Yeah? Because I actually think I could show you being chaotic.
Brilliant.
Hello, nice to see you. Hello. Let's go for a walk. Yeah, we're going for a walk. And so you could kind of see, hello, I know you're not allowed really to do all these lovely jumping things, are you? And so for me, as soon as you get the lead, everything's really exciting, and actually you're kind of trying to get on the lead. I know what you're thinking.
Hi Vanessa,
and
hey Barkley.
Actually, it can all be a little bit chaotic. Just even the act of popping your dog on lead. So popping your dog on lead can be chaotic. Whereas I think I'm going to start that again. So I'm going to start that again. So rather than us go into this crazy, chaotic, nice.
And I think the big question that you have to ask yourself before you even start training your dog to not pull on lead is, have you got their brain? Is their brain in their skull, or is it elsewhere? They're thinking about all the fun things that can happen, on that walk. And what can I do to get their brain back in their skull? Maybe it's a moment of just stillness, a moment of focus, even if it's just focus on a bit of food rather than, that perfect focus eye contact or whatever else that you might have seen. Actually, can I just get you to focus on a little task? And it might be as simple as look at the piece of food. Then can I get your lead on?
For Mango, she's playing a game here called the mouse game. And you can see we're working with a 1-year-old, very energetic, excitable dog. And we want that, we like that. We don't want to crush that. We like that she's energetic. However, when we're going to put her lead on, a game like this one, the mouse game, before we do too much, and don't worry that she gets little bits wrong. She's a pup, she's a youngster. I mean, for a big breed, she's definitely still in her very young ages and stages. And we like all of this learning. And look at her push, but also watch her learning. And you've got to be quick, because even, yeah, I saw you. Even a golden retriever like Mango, nice. And I would say that's the right time to take her out and to start lead walking. Now, when I first take her out for a little lead wander, and we're going to do that up here with you guys, but this might be out and about, this could be anywhere, I actually wouldn't even release her off a bed. I'd probably take her off like that, Tom, because she's quite excitable. She loved that being a bad dog demo. She thought that was fantastic. It's probably her favourite thing to do. Young lady,
and so
I think. I know.
You know. The mouse game that we just showed you is just one example of what really is a bit of a temperature check, a bit of a check on where are we, have we got the right headspace here before we even start the walk. Now, then what you might be thinking is, how do I get a dog that actually wants to hang out with me and wants to be with me? And this is where we build this concept called proximity. You might have heard us talk about proximity before, you might not have done, it's totally fine. Basically, it's saying, actually, our dogs have value for different areas, but we want the value to be around us. Now, how do we build that? Well, our dogs start each and every day with a pot of value that is their daily food allowance. If we can spend that pot of value nice and close to us, actually, our dogs are going to want to hang out nice and close.
Now, interestingly, Mango likes to hang out close, but that has definitely been via this pot of value. And as you can see here, Mango's also offering great patience, which is also part of her pot of value, because she really would like to leap up and bounce around. If your dog's similar on a lead or off a lead, that actually they find really controlling themselves hard, whether that's being close to proximity or whether that's actually not just landing themselves everywhere or dragging you to the park or from the park or in every other direction. These are all things that we love to work on with you. And we've picked Mango really to show you that these things are a work in progress. They're not done, they're not finished, but walking on lead has become a whole lot better with playing the games that we play.
So we've had 2 tips so far. First tip, check where your dog's head is. How do we get it back in the moment?
It's a bit of a pulse check. It's a bit of a, is your dog's head in their skull, right? Are their brains there?
Second tip is put value in the space around you. The third tip that we have got for you is actually one that we've been doing right now, and that is, this doesn't start, you don't train this on your walk at first. What you're going to do is you're going to work it at home. You're going to check that your dog values being around you in the garden, in the living room, in the kitchen.
And notice that actually Mango is working for her food, and lots of people might say, I don't want them to work for their food. Why should I be bribing them or feeding them? Remember, this is just Mango's bowl. It's Mango's bowl. That's how Mango speaks. And it's Mango's bowl. That's how you speak to Mango. And it's Mango's bowl, so it's got Mango's food in it. She's going to get this food anyway. Yes, she is. But instead of giving it to her in the bowl, yeah, you're not so lucky as that, eh? She's luckier. The reason she's luckier is that we work her for this food. So she gets to earn and enjoy a great relationship. So these are all things that Mango gets to do because we want to put that time in. Now, when we say time, we actually mean probably 5 minutes a day. In fact, this is Mango's training session, and it's as simple as that. Yeah. It is as simple as that. You need to keep your feet on the floor. Yes.
Now, the next tip that we've got for you is, once you've got this proximity zone value around you, what you're going to start to do is test your dog. So you're going to say, okay, what happens if I walk forwards? There's some more value. What happens if I walk backwards? There's some more value. What happens if I turn left? There's some more value. And what we want to see is that our dogs are like, get me back in that zone. Get me back in that place.
We want a dog who, whether they're with their lead or not actually, and don't feel bad about having food. Food is reinforcement. So we want a dog that wants to hang out here and wants to effectively mirror, match and work at the pace that we're working at. That's what we're really looking. So if I walk one step forward, or if I walk nice and fast, actually I've got a dog who really wants to hang out with me. And yes, that is partly reinforcement, and reinforcement becomes paired, and it becomes paired with you. I know you're very excited to be here, aren't you? You are.
Now, fifth tip that we have got for you is the one that we as humans, we always forget, and that is variety. The more different ways we explain to our dogs that being close is fun, being with us is fun, doing things with us is fun, the better. But what we often do is get into these habits of doing the same thing, the same process. And we find that works for a week, and then all of a sudden our dogs start to think, God, that's boring. This is no longer any fun. And it almost becomes punishing to try and get them to engage in that way. And that's why you need a variety of games. That's why you need a variety of strategies. That's why actually there are many ways to train this and grow this.
As simple as actually boundary games, where some of you might not think that what Mango's doing will help with lead walking. Absolutely, yes it does, because it teaches her very black and white, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, these are some of the sort of boundaries in our game. And actually, for us as concept trainers, these are the sorts of things that we can teach you in very, very bite-sized chunks, very small chunks, but actually deliver huge real life results. And the reason we picked Mango to show you is that Mango actually still has a long way to go. But, don't you? Yes, you are. But we are definitely, and I should say, we are definitely moving in the right direction. When lead walking, and I'll give you a real life example here. Lead walking is particularly important for Mango because Mango hangs out with Eliza. Eliza is 10 and Eliza can't handle Mango's power. Mango also hangs out with my dad, and my dad's got bone cancer. Mango cannot be yanking him around or leaping at him or knocking him sideways because he hasn't got the strength to be able to handle that. And so for me, actually, your lead walking may have an even more important part to play. She's a big dog, she's a large breed. So a large breed having pulling like that just isn't acceptable, whether it's a 10-year-old or whether it's your dad with a health concern. It's just not acceptable. It's not fair play. You absolutely need to put in different rules and different criteria dependent on your circumstance and situation. Plus, I have to say, walking a dog with nice lead manners feels like a completely different space. You feel like Lara Croft. You stick your chest out and you march, and you just feel amazing because you've got this. Equally, these are all things we can teach you. These are all things that are very, very grabbable, graspable. They're simple.
And many of you might be living a different life with your dog where they don't pull on lead because you've been through our Stop Pulling program, the Stop Pulling mini course. And if you haven't got involved in that or been through that yet, it's just £27. You can find out more about it by going to AbsoluteDogs.me, that's M-E, AbsoluteDogs.me/stop pulling, and all the information will be there. But basically, that will give you the step-by-step. You watch the video, you play the game, you unlock the real-life result, and that kind of propels you into a future of thinking, hold on a second, if I can train my dog to walk nicely at my side when previously they pulled like a train, what else can I do with my dog? What new dreams should I create? What new goals should I have? And that is the fun of dog owning. So that's AbsoluteDogs.me/stop pulling.
And the big thing with the Stop Pulling course is that you have access to it for life. Like it's not a, you buy it and you lose it in 2 weeks' time or a month's time or 6 weeks' time or 8 weeks' time. You have it for life. So for a dog like Mango, I'll be honest, she's doing all right at the moment, but she can have blips. And tell me if you've had a blip with your dog. Tell me if you've had a struggle with your dog. Tell me if you thought it was going like awesome, rock and roll, baby, everything's good. And then actually, bang, wham, bam, you're at the big bottom of the pile again and you feel like you've got to build it all up. We've been there and I'm sure we'll be there again because that is what happens. Well, you've got your library to go back to. You've got your opportunity to go back. And the thing is, if your dog walks perfectly on a lead, the Stop Pulling course is not for you. If your dog is angelic, has no struggles at all, is just the best little dog ever, Stop Pulling course.
Please do not get involved.
Don't buy it. Do not buy it. £27, keep it in your back pocket, spend it on, I don't know, a nice steak dinner. Absolutely not for you, or a vegetarian dinner if you're vegetarian or vegan or any of the other things that you might want to eat. But for me, if you've got any struggles like we had with Mango, please, please, please get involved because this is exactly what, you look like you're perched on the end there, you're very funny. This is exactly what we've done and this is exactly what we continue to do with dogs all over the world, and it works.
And the cool thing is that you've got those 5 principles that you can start implementing right away that we've shared with you in this live. So if you want to jump into the program, it's AbsoluteDogs.me/stop pulling.
Mango would love to see you there because you know what? She'd like to encourage more dogs to just have Mango manners, right?
And if you've already been involved in the program, you're working through it, you've worked through it and you're seeing results, let us know in the comments as well. Go forth, implement, play games, unlock the dog owning dream, and we will see you real soon. See you real soon,
Game
guys!
changers!
Remember, game changers, whatever the dog owning struggle, there's a game for that.
If you haven't already, remember to subscribe to our channel.
And check out our new 25-day online dog training challenge. Watch the videos, play the games, transform your dog owning struggles.
As a loyal YouTube subscriber, you can get a 70% discount through the link in the description below.
And if you haven't already, subscribe to the #1 most transformational dog training podcast on iTunes and Spotify, the Sexier Than a Squirrel podcast.
And remember to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more live teaching, video content and free training using the links in the description.